Is this thing on? Mic check. What's going on, AAA family? It's your boy, Coach Smook, here on the Coach Smook Network, your favorite Alabama insider and sports media personality, bringing you another live morning show. Before we get into the show, I got to ask you to do a few things. First, just come in and like the stream. You don't know how much that truly helps the channel continue to grow. Make sure you share it out. Let somebody know that you're tapped in here on the Coach Smook Network. And also, just make sure you're subscribed. If you're not a member of the AAA family, take an opportunity and join by typing in the chat right now, !AAA. Hit the enter button and you'll see the link provided in the chat. And if you need help, one of our moderators can assist you. We thank you for every future partner that's getting ready to join this family and help us continue to grow. And today, we want to invite you to get into this conversation. The thoughts are on you. The phone lines are open for you. I want to hear your thoughts here on the Coach Smook Network. Somebody type it in the chat. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. Let's go.
Remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook. 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 Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Like, share, subscribe. You know we keep it live.
Hey, y'all, I'm walking out of Walmart. Check, what's your name, bro?
Man, my name Michael McKinney, man. I'm a true Alabama fan, and this man does a good job on his podcast.
What's up, bro?
Reviewing Alabama football. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Appreciate that, bro. Roll Tide, man.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Sorry, y'all. Running a little late. We running a little behind today, but we here, man. We here. It's Friday morning, day before 4th of July. I know y'all ain't got nothing to do, so y'all come on in, tap in with your boy, jump in, get on this live. Let's talk some college football, some SEC football, support live music going forward, y'all. Support live music. Give it up for yourselves for pulling up. Yeah. Somebody keep asking me, do I know Deron Sanders from Tap In Sports? I want to say I do. The name does sound familiar for some reason. It's just not. I can't put an exact like face to the name or a situation interaction to it. But y'all help your boy get the live viewers in here. We actually, I hate to do this. From Tap In Sports Podcast, I don't remember being on it. AAA family, y'all remember me being on Tap In Sports? What's up, Zach? Good morning. Good to see you. Roll Tide, Zach. It's Friday, y'all. We're going to take our time, let everybody get in here and chop it up. We're going to open the phone lines. The phone lines, as a matter of fact, the phone lines are open right now. 334-625-1121. Mary J, you can go ahead and put it up. We're going to do a little different this morning. Phone lines are already up. We're going to leave them open the whole show. Topic of conversation today. We introduced them yesterday, but we're going to talk about it from a different standpoint. Is the SEC losing its dominance? Is the SEC, in your opinion, as most of us in here are SEC fans, most of us in here that come in, tune into this show, we're SEC fans. Our teams are from the SEC. Is the SEC losing its dominance? One. And when did it start to slip? Let's not just talk about where it is right now. Let's talk about when it started happening. And all that good stuff. We got Zach already calling in. Let me get him on the line. We're gonna place him on hold for a second.
Zach Willie. To accept, press.
We're gonna place him on hold for a second. Now you good. Keep the music on. We're gonna place Zach on hold for a second, and then by the time we get done doing our intro and stuff, Zach will be ready to come in after that. So we got Zach on the line already on hold, y'all. The phone line is open the whole show. But we're going to finish doing our intro. I want to take the opportunity to thank everybody for tapping in live today. Antonio Snell tapping in on TikTok. Appreciate you for the gift of 20 roses. Tapped In Sports Online. I don't know who that is, man. I'm sorry. I can't remember. Antonio, you remember if I was on the Tap Dance Sports podcast? I don't remember. Maybe it was some years back, 2 years ago when I first was on. I haven't done a collab with somebody in a long time. So you're probably thinking about the wrong person, man. Autumn. I'm sorry. Autumn and fam. Probably thinking about the wrong person, young lady. Welcome in though. Roll Tide to everybody in the chat. All my AAA family, thank y'all. As y'all come in, man, we'll get into the show. We'll make this thing pop a little bit. But today we're talking SEC ball, man. Who brings the SEC back to the top? Is the SEC still the best conference in the country, man? I think the Big Ten has been popping their stuff. They have reason to. With them, their top 3 teams in their conference. Well, they say 2 of the top. When you think about the Big Ten, it's always been Ohio State and Michigan for the most part. What other teams have? Penn State has kind of thrown itself in the mix, got a lot of preseason hype, and the weakness of the schedule allowed them to kind of carry through. So we're going to talk about those things. We just want to give y'all a chance to tap in. And like I said, today's show, we want to drag it on. We want to leave the phone lines open. I want to have conversation with y'all. I've already did somewhat of a recorded segment for this. I just wanted to bring it live to see what type of interactions we can get. And then also post live. We want to see what type of interactions we get. And even now, we want to thank you, my guy, the Inquisitive Prince, 7095 for the 199 super chat. He said, no, there's a reboot going on. Oh, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Yeah. What's up, bro? Appreciate the super chat, 199 super chat over there on YouTube. Hey, don't forget, man, every time you donate, you become a sponsor of the channel. We have our sponsorship banners. And then also, y'all, YouTube is updating the pricings for memberships. I don't know if y'all got the email, but all the creators got an email. 4,000. We made it to, hey, we're grateful for it. We're grateful for it. Somebody give yourselves a hand. Once you get to a certain subscriber base, it automatically updates for you. It kind of looks at your analytics to try to help you maximize. And the amount of viewership that we've been getting from our returning viewers, it's been beautiful. We talked a little bit about this last night, but I've really been excited and grateful and appreciative for the type of support you all have shown throughout this transition period. We've been going through a lot of transition the past few years, and you all have been consistently spreading the word and putting us out there. So I want to thank y'all for that. All right, y'all, we're going to get into the show. We're going to get into the show here on the Coach Smook Network. We already have a call on the line, but if you want to call in, as long as the phone line ticker is open, call in. If you hear somebody on the line, wait up. If you tap in live and you see somebody on the line, wait up. When you hear this noise right here, back to back like that, that means you got 3 minutes. Oh, you got 2 minutes. You got to get on off the line if you don't want to get hung up on, man. I'm telling you, if you don't want to get hung up on, you better hang up. When you hear that 2 like that, you better hang up in the next 2 minutes if you don't want to get hung up on. But we're going to get into that conversation. We're going to get into the phone lines here on the Coach Smook Network. All right, y'all, let's be ready to do it. Somebody type it in the chat. Say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. Let's get into this phone line, baby.
You're talking about Jalen Milroe and the Pips? The perfect weak side linebacker, right? Put him next to the mic.
It's not going to take us a lot of time. But I want to say that I'm excited about what...
Okay, forgive me, my brother. What's on your mind?
Oh, I'm good. I'm just still sorry for all the other content creators now that we have this mega star back in our presence.
All right, y'all, we got our first call on the line. Zach, what's up, man? You in the game, Coach Smook? Talk to me, man.
What's good, everybody?
Man, what's good? Zach, y'all give it up for my boy Zach one more time, man. Talk to me, Zach.
Sir, yes, sir. Yeah, and I kind of agreed. The Big Ten have been doing their thing, but also what a lot of people don't realize is teams have been taking advantage of players that should have been 2-3 years in the NFL staying, using loopholes in the transfer portal and redshirt waivers to kind of stay in college, that 6, 7, 8 years, and beating up on younger players,
Yeah.
and starting not this season, but the next 2027, there will be no more of that. You have 5 years to play your college football and get out. There will be no redshirt waivers unless a pregnancy, military service, and something else. I forget what the other one is.
Yeah,
But
it's funny you brought that up because I was just talking with some staff members at Alabama about how much that changes the game for teams that actually have quality recruiting, and it really does. And a lot of people wondering why this 27 class is shaping up like it is because they're being told that the BS is stopping. Like basically, they're just like the 23 class was the beneficiary class to be able to stay in college. Or wait, what's that? No, that wasn't even the 23 class. This the 21 class. The 2021 class has been able to stay in school an extra year already, and a lot of them are getting past. They're getting past this new stipulation, this new rule change because of the circumstances. But you still have 1 or 2 players from the class of 2020 on the college football roster right now. We even had, what was the quarterback's name that's been everywhere? He played at Auburn for a year. He played at LSU. I forget the young man's name. Arkansas. TJ Finley, wasn't it? Wasn't it TJ Finley?
Yeah, TJ Finley.
Man, listen, bro.
Yeah, he played at Auburn, LSU, Western Kentucky, and a few other schools, But yeah, it's just the whole COVID year was how they wanted it to go, was for the players that played in 2020 to get that extra year because they missed out on the spring and all that because of COVID. And then it ballooned into what it is today, with NIL and the transfer portal and the loopholes, that came with that, And so, yeah, I think it all fixes itself with the 5-for-5 rule, Will there still be some things that need to be fixed? Absolutely. But at least we're taking a step to fix what needs to be fixed, and making it even for everybody, and not allowing NFL players to be still playing college football. Indiana benefited from it. Miami has benefited from it. Ohio State has benefited from it. All these big name teams have benefited from having, 5, 6 year players, and it's time that we kind of cut back on that and get to what football is, and let true college athletes play college football and leave the players that are supposed to be in the NFL, leave them to the NFL,
I think there are small windows. I think there's very few situations right now in college football where players should be able to play more than 4 years, right? There are very few situations with you, and I still think we have a long ways to go, but this is definitely a start because now with guys having to stay on rosters or only having the
because I think there's a transfer rule being in place too this same year. You're only eligible for one transfer per 3 semesters completed or something like that. I think that's what it basically like dumbs down to. Somebody was trying to make it all extra and confusing, but I think for you only could transfer for every 3 completed semesters, and that means like that's not just talking about just like completing a semester. Your GPA, everything has to stay intact, and you have to have there has to be NDAs, signed beforehand. It's a whole bunch of small things that they had in the fine print, but this is a good start in my honest opinion. And I'm just telling people right now, like I think the landscape for college football, but more so for the SEC, is really going to show the quality of what this rule is going to bring. Because, like you said, Zach, it's one thing to go out there and have a 19, 20-year-old starting quarterback. And then it's also another thing to have a 25, 26-year-old, 24 to 26-year-old starting quarterback. It's 2 different dynamics of a game. Zach, final thoughts as we get ready to close off this phone call, man.
Yep. My final thoughts is I think with how, like I've said, with the way everything is, we're taking the right steps moving forward to continue to make college football what it is and kind of fix what NIL has brought upon college football. But roll tide, everybody. Love
Hold
you
on.
guys.
Before you go, Zach, we were talking about the return of the SEC dominance. Who is the team? We got a minute and 15 seconds. Who is the team that you think returns the dominance for the SEC? Who is the team that returns it for the SEC?
I'm not going to be biased on this one. I'm going to really think about it and look at it from an analyst position. But I think you have 3 teams that could do it. Georgia, Texas, and Alabama. And if I had to choose one between those 3, I would go with a coach, a proven coach, and the team I would have to go with a proven coach is Georgia. As much as I hate Georgia, Kirby Smart has won 2 national championships in this day of football. He kind of benefited from the COVID situation and NIL. That those first 2 years. But overall, I think he is the coach that can do it.
Yep, 100%, Zach. I agree. I think I think there's a group of teams right now that can put the SEC back in dominance. Georgia being the front runner right now. I think right behind Georgia, because honestly, since Coach Saban left, nobody's really knocked Bama off. Georgia hasn't even knocked Bama off. Like Texas nor Georgia has knocked Bama off from being the power of the SEC. The fact that Georgia had to do it in the conference championship game after we did it to them at their home field lets you know something. And that was 2 games in a row. Alabama had the best over Kirby Smart in Georgia since Kalen DeBoer has been there. So you talk about 2-1 against Kirby, 2-0 against Steve Sarkisian even before he got to Alabama. I think we in a good position with the coach we got. But Zach, I appreciate you for calling in, man. Can you say it one time for me, bro?
Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Yes, sir. Y'all give it up for my boy Zach. Roll Tide, baby.
Roll Tide.
We got another call on the line, 704. Let's see who it is.
Call from
The Inquisitive Prince.
To accept, press 1.
Yo, the Inquisitive Prince. What's good, man? You in the game, Coach Smook? Talk to me, my boy.
Man, just eastbound and down out here on the highway, just trying to keep my head above water. It's been a while since I called in, checking in.
Hey.
I've been busy, got my own business going. And, it's rough out here, but I'm gonna dive straight into it. No, of course not. I'm a Carolina. I'm from the Carolinas, but ever since the '92 championship game, been rolling with the Tide. George T. stripping Lamar Thomas. No, they ain't going nowhere. I mean, everybody. I mean, it's just a known. It's just a known fact. You gonna have a few years of down years. That's to be expected. I mean, and like I tell them at the barbershop, you know who got all this stuff going? You know why college football's in the state it's in right now? One thing: stop Coach Nick Saban. They threw everything in the kitchen sink from recruiting, from the times you can recruit. Then they had to start NIL, transfer. All of this thing was to stop Nick Saban and Alabama. And so, with that being said, hey, of course, the SEC gonna rise back to the top. I mean, I'm a patient person. You coming behind the legendary coach. I mean, it's a hard act to follow. I mean, I don't think nobody in college football could follow that act. Not even Kirby Smart.
I mean, Kirby been trying to do it since he left there in 2016, and the closest he got was 21 and 22 with the back-to-back. During the pre-NIL era.
Well, they won. They won. I'm not.
We're not taking nothing from Georgia. They definitely handled business in 21.
I am that first one because of J-Mo and Mitchie. I got to take that first one. Well, I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah, I mean, even then, man, that game it wasn't on them. They did. Like I said, I tell people all the time, we lost that game with Jai Hall dropped 2 touchdowns in that game. I forget who. I think was it Slade Bolden was a slot. He dropped 3 or 4 passes in that game.
It was the stars lined up.
Yeah,
stars lined
finally.
up. I mean, you had Mitchie was out for the game, and J-Mo he got injured. So the stars lined up for him, but of course SEC gonna remain on the top. Where did they come to poach all the players from? It ain't. I mean, you got your 1s or 2s out in California and in other places, but they primarily come down to the Southeast to take the players. It just is what it is. So, hey. And like I said from the onset, it was all of this chaos is because to stop one coach Nick Saban in Alabama. You can say what you want to, but
hey, so Inquisitive Prince, we got a question in the chat. Dino334 says, "Do we consider the 2010s SEC dominance though?" I'm gonna answer this first, Dino. As a matter of fact, Inquisitive, you go first, and then I'll answer because we got about 3 minutes on the line. Do you consider the 2010s SEC dominance from 2010 to 2020?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, what else can? I mean, who you had? Ohio State and Florida State in there. That's it. I mean, so you had Clemson, but it's not only dominance. Who's always there in the picture?
Alabama.
Who's always there in the picture? Yeah, I mean, you have your teams that'll rise up. They'll get the seniors to return, and they'll stay on the team. You have a couple of 5th-year seniors, so that's and look at the parity that we was always in. They start poaching our coaches. Yeah. Every time. It wasn't no coincidence they poach our coaches. It wasn't no coincidence.
It's always after a national championship appearance too. After every national championship appearance, you think about 2012 after the second national championship. That's when we saw the first, the first, I guess you could say, string of coaches together leave, like more than one coach leave the staff without Coach Saban actually making moves. Then you saw, I want to say after the 2015 national championship, Kirby left after 2015. We saw the staff and the team the whole persona of the team kind of changed when Kirby left. And then I think Coach Scott left the year after that, the year after we lost to Clemson in the finals.
And the debacle called Lane Kiffin, who done his being Lane Kiffin the way he departed the team.
Yeah, and in 18.
That's not here there.
That was in 18 there, and then 19, you had LSU come in with their super team with Joe Burrow and all those first round receivers and offensive line. Man, you know what? I was rewatching that game, Joe Burrow versus Tua in 2019. Do y'all know that in that game, 34 NFL players touched the field between Alabama and LSU? 34 NFL players, 34 players that at this time, at this point in time in 2026, there are 34 players from both of those rosters, and this is before free agency and everything, going into 2020, ending the 2025 season. 34 players played in that game. 34 NFL players played in that game. And then when you think about it, even from that aspect there, Prince, when you think about it from that aspect of with the SEC return to dominance, I don't think it's ever lost its dominance. I think now you're starting to see the youth of the skill in the SEC because of the amount of talent being stacked on these rosters, the veteran presence and the veteran talent that's being stacked. And then you're talking about NFL minds coming to the collegiate level for relief. Joe Brady started that. He started that whole wave back in 2019. If you're an NFL coordinator or NFL head coach that's struggling, come back to the collegiate levels. They giving you the keys to the bus. Have fun with it. Inquisitor Prince, I know you have a feeling that the SEC hasn't lost its dominance, but who will be the before we get out of here, who will be the SEC team you think will win the next national championship and put the SEC back on the map as far as one of the dominant conferences of the NCAA?
I unlike Zach, I am going to be biased. I believe it's going to be us. It's Alabama Christmas Tide because, I mean, hey, that's just my mentality. Whatever team I pull for, I'm going. And the simple fact, I'm glad the rules have changed. I mean, once these, give Coach DeBoer. I mean, he's an excellent coach. You ain't gonna find no better out there at this point in time. And give him a chance to get his system in place. I wish they would get more physical between on both sides of the line, and quit making, especially on the offensive line. We had no good O-line since our last national championship. I mean, I'm as far as mentally making them mental mistakes, a false start, holding. It's always something with the concrete that coming to a season where the offensive line is solid instead of playing musical chairs all damn year long.
Yeah.
So
100%, man.
Yeah. So that's all I gotta say. Roll Tide, Coach Smook, and
Hey, say it one time for me before you get off the line, man. Say it one time for me.
Put me in the game, Coach Smook.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you, man. And call in every time you see this phone line open. You call in, man. Y'all give it up for my guy, the Inquisitive Prince. Yes, sir. Roll Tide, y'all. Y'all give it up for again one more time for the family. Phone line is open 334-625-1121. 334-625-1121. Say your name, put me in the game, Coach Smook, and then share your thoughts. I'm gonna share my thoughts on this. Let me kind of talk about it. I think right now the SEC has not lost its dominance. I don't think so. I've seen a lot of people make this claim, but anytime you go into a college football playoff and half of the talent of the pool is a conference, one conference, and every team that's in that pool has either played each other and given each other a loss, or they played against other ranked opponents throughout the season, right? And I don't think the SEC gets any leverage as far as rankings. I don't think we get any favoritism. I think some of your other conferences, to try to make it look like it's even, right? They get a lot of love. You're talking about the ACC. You look at the quality of ball the ACC plays at the end of the year, the Big 12. Like a lot of these teams, they're top. A lot of these conferences are top heavy. I think the SEC is the only one where you could actually go in and think about it. Let's talk about it. We posted the odds for teams to win the SEC this year, right? Jordan, I need that graphic back up. There it is. And so Texas, Georgia, LSU, Ole Miss, Alabama. I didn't say A&M. I'm talking about teams that I really feel like have a serious chance. A&M I don't trust just yet. But Texas, Georgia, LSU, Ole Miss, and Alabama. Those are 5 teams that if you and let's replace A&M with let's replace A&M with a Oklahoma, just for the time being, right? If I put those 6 teams on the board, and let's say we go to the Big Ten, Ohio State, Michigan, Indiana, Michigan State, Penn State, and Oregon. Those are your 6 power teams. Or you could say take Michigan State out of put USC right there. USC is in the Big Ten, right? Am I right? Big Ten. So you take those big name programs. Which of those teams has been consistently in the run as far as the national title contender? Oregon has been hyped since their existence, right? Ohio State, Michigan. USC has been hyped. A lot of it is hype for that conference. Penn State never wins the big games. When the last time we saw Penn State pull a big win? Then you got your one-offs like Notre Dame. They're independent. Make them join the conference. But Notre Dame also is set out. They've embraced the fact that they have to prove it with their out-of-conference games. If they want to stay independent, they got to prove with their out-of-conference games. So you don't see them scheduling weak out-of-conference games like some of us get to do. So Notre Dame has figured it out, and they're combating it. So I think when you look at it just overall, because I said Oklahoma, but then right after Oklahoma, I could easily say a surging team right now, Tennessee, with some pedigree. They're a team that could be right there on the outside looking in. Texas A&M, same thing with them. Missouri was a team that started off 6-0 last year. Who else? We said Oklahoma, Texas, Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Ole Miss. South Carolina is another mid-major team, a mid-level team that can start off 6 or 7-0 on UMB ranked. So there's a lot of teams that in the SEC, you have very few. Florida might mess around and be good. So I want people to think, like, I want people to understand. I don't think the SEC by any means has lost its dominance by any means. If anything, the SEC has shown more of its dominance by the way we beat each other up during the season. And then you get in the playoffs. I want to look at something. I didn't look this up beforehand. I'm gonna look up the 2024 CFP playoff bracket. And this was the first year without Coach Saban. This was year 1 without Coach Saban, if I'm not mistaken. No, 2024 was the Coach Saban. No. First year without Coach Saban, yeah. All right, so you look at the teams that represented the college football playoff in 2024. This was the first year with the 12-team playoff, right? You had Texas out of the SEC. You had Tennessee out of the SEC. You had Georgia out of the SEC, who had a bye. You had 4 teams out of the 12-team playoff in the SEC. Tennessee lost to Ohio State, the eventual national champs. Texas beat Clemson, Arizona State. Penn State got SMU and Boise in that bracket. So once again, Penn State doing Penn State things. This year, this is the year Notre Dame actually was dominant. They handled Georgia, came in. We saw how that game played out, which made Georgia change up how they were doing things. Oh my God, excuse me, y'all. Sorry for yawning. But yeah, that was 2024. Let's look at 2025. You had 4 teams in the first SEC, first college football playoff, 12-team playoff. In 2025, turn around. You had Alabama, Oklahoma playing each other in the first round. 2 SEC teams. Ole Miss, an SEC squad, 10-2. Georgia, another SEC squad, 11-2 at the time with the extra game. Let's do regular seasons. 10-2 Georgia, 10-2 Texas A&M. You had 10-2 Ole Miss. You had a 10-3 Bama regular season, and you had I believe Oklahoma was 9-3. 10-2. Oklahoma was 10-2. So you had 5 teams in the SEC that were 10-2. I think you had 6. Vanderbilt was even 10-2.
Wasn't Vanderbilt or Tennessee like 10-2 last year also? You had like 6 teams in the SEC that were playoff eligible. And that just goes to tell me, like, whenever you have ranked teams playing other ranked teams, and out of those 4 or 5 ranked games in the season, they're only compiling 2 losses. One's against another ranked opponent, and the other one may be an out of conference ranked loss. Like that's to me, that's just a base broad view of the amount of talented teams you have in a conference. Like in the SEC, any given Saturday, I think you're starting to get more to a different. Vandy was definitely 10-2 last season, yeah, because they definitely should have been in the playoffs. They definitely had a chance. If they don't lose to us, and who else did they lose to? Was it Georgia? Georgia was their other loss. They don't lose to both of us, they actually get in. So I think I like where college football is. I like where the SEC is. I like the fact that, just like the first caller said, we were just talking about it a second ago. Since 2020, between 2010 and 2020 to the 2010s, you had the SEC win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 10 national championships, right? And you look at how that era started. Before the era, let me do this. Let's open that bracket up. 20 years. Let's do 20 years. Let's talk about 20 years of the national champions. Look at how the previous era started right before the SEC dominance. Oklahoma was your champs in 2000. 2001, you had Miami. 2002, you had Ohio State, right? 2003, LSU, USC kind of split it. I think that year, 03, USC probably would have beat LSU. I truly believe that. I'm not even gonna be a hater. I think Coach Saban and that team were great, but I think USC was just a little different. This was, I want to say, Reggie Bush. 03 was Reggie Bush freshman or sophomore year. And then 2004 USC, they had to turn that over because of the cheating and all that. But oh well, they was able to do it on the field. Texas came in 05, which wasn't SEC. They were Big 12 at the time, or was it the Big South Conference at the time? I can't remember. It's Big 12. I think 05 was Big 12. Then T-Bone Florida 06, LSU, and who was LSU's coach? Smirk face guy, Les Miles. Les Miles and LSU in 07. Coach Saban, the Florida run with Tebow 08. Coach Saban in 09, after being at Bama for 2 years, comes into his 3rd season, wins it. 2010, we lose to Auburn in the Iron Bowl, and they go on to win the national championship. Alabama goes back-to-back, 2011, 2012. You know what team we haven't mentioned in these early 2000s? Georgia. I'm just saying. All my Georgia fans that try to act like Alabama, like they the only ones do a back-to-back. Listen to what I'm saying. 2011, 2012, Alabama did that. All right, Florida State, 13. They came back and did the big one with Jameis Winston. You turn around, you look at Ohio State. That was the first year of the college football playoff. 14 playoff. They came and did it to us, man. Third string quarterback Cardell Jones did it to us, as a matter of fact. Alabama came back for Avengers 15, 16. We come back against Clemson. Jalen Hurts leaves the field with the lead. And next time he touches the field is because we're starting a new season. 2017, Lane Kiffin season with Tua, those guys, Jalen Hurts, Tua, the young 4 horsemen, all that, the ride-outs, all that good stuff. Clemson comes back in 18, handles it. 19, LSU, and then 20, like we said, Alabama. Then 21, Georgia, 22, Georgia. And you got the last 3 national championships, Michigan, Ohio State, and Indiana. So it's not like we're far removed as far as the SEC. I mean, teams like Alabama and LSU still are fresh within the national championship picture.
You're not starting to fade out until you're in that 10-year window. So right now, since the last national championship, Clemson has fallen in that fading window, right? How many conference championship games have we seen Clemson show up for since their last national championship in 2018? We've seen them go to the playoffs, right? We've seen them go against an average win percentage of 42% win percentage at the end of the season, right? That conference only accounts, and that's another way we can kind of weigh out which conferences are still dominating. You look at the out of conference win percentage during the season and match that up. SEC versus other schools in season fare way better in the beginning of the season than they do in bowl season. I'm just saying, we have the ACC and the Big Ten bragging about beating SEC schools in bowl season. Like 99 times out of 10, half the roster is opted out. Let's start there. 9 times out of 10, half the roster is opted out. And then you also just got to consider the fact that a lot of teams are not playing their ones at the end of this year. It's just a fact. A lot of teams aren't playing their ones. You got teams from out of conference that still want to play against the SEC, want to beat the SEC. It's kind of like their booster, right, for their status. Not for Alabama, but not for the SEC, but for the out of conference teams. So I don't think the SEC has lost its dominance. I think we're far from it. I think the team that restores the next team to win a national championship, I think Alabama wins the next SEC national championship. Or a dark horse. I think it's going to be an Auburn that does it, a Texas, one of those dark horses. I don't think Georgia, LSU, Ole Miss, as good as I think they're going to be. I don't think Tennessee has got enough yet. They may with Brandon Faison at quarterback. Ole Miss, I love Trinidad Charles, but I think that offense is going to find itself having to be a lot more traditional in order to be successful. This year, a lot of teams are going to QB spy, double spy him. They don't have the separation speed on the boundary. They got a lot of strong hands, but but they don't have like breakaway speed in that Ole Miss wide receiver room like they did last year. Oklahoma is another team. I think if they put it together with Mateer, they could just blow my whole prediction out the water. Because I was looking at it. I said with a good Oklahoma offense, and I'm talking about a good offense, not a decent offense, a good offense. I think Oklahoma puts themselves right in the mix too. But that's what, like I said, it has to be not a decent offense, a good offense. Let's look at their schedule real quick, and I'm gonna highlight something real quick before we get out of here. Week 2 against Michigan. Like I said, I think that's the start of their season. UTEP, I think Mateer will come out. He'll do great. He'll go through all his motions and reads and be able to deliver the ball at a highly efficient rate. Michigan on the road is going to tell us a lot about Mateer, right? He come out of that game healthy. New Mexico comes in. They could rebound. I still have them losing to Michigan. I think Bryce Underwood is going to be a lot better this year, and that defense was always good last year. Just didn't have the offense. At Georgia, Oklahoma, you're losing that one. I just don't see Kirby and Athens taking a loss that early in the season. Versus Texas, I got Texas on that one. I'm riding with Texas till I see y'all put something on the field. Kentucky, I give y'all that one. So right now, y'all only got 2 losses. At Mississippi State, I got y'all with that one. I can give y'all South Carolina. The toss-up with Florida, I could give y'all that one. The toss-up with Ole Miss, I'll give y'all that one. A&M, I'll give y'all that one. Y'all can be 10-2. You can be 10-2 if everything comes together for the offense. Defense still has to maintain, of course, but we expect the defense to maintain. All right. And so Oklahoma is one of those teams, like I said, they could be right there in the mix to make a name and make a push for a national championship. A lot of these teams, a lot of these teams, like I said, I'm sorry, I had a message popped up on my screen. A lot of these teams in the SEC, they will be in rebuild mode. I think about Tennessee. I think about Florida. I think even Auburn, as much hype as there is, they're in rebuild mode. Anytime you bring in new staff members or you change the whole makeup of what your team is as far as personnel, right? You can expect some type of hiccups or some type of hesitancy for growth. But all three of those programs, Florida, Tennessee, Auburn, if they keep their staffs together, if they're able to keep on roster what they have with a lot. Auburn's not young. They just did a lot with patchwork. And I trust Alex Golish and DJ Durkin. They did a lot with their defense, retained a lot with their defense, which is the most important to me when you're talking about reestablishing a culture on your roster. Getting the defensive presence reestablished and a solid is huge for me. But past that, you look at the Kentuckys, the Mississippi States, the Arkansas, they're going to struggle. I think South Carolina and South Carolina is a team that's going to struggle, but they will compete. Who else am I forgetting? Vanderbilt, once again, I think is a team that's going to compete. Missouri is a team that I think is going to struggle this year, but they're going to have a solid run game. They have a stable of running backs that nobody's talking about. So some of these games can get tricky in the SEC if you don't lock in and play your best game week in and week out. And I think that's what separates the SEC from the rest of the country. In the Big Ten, you can skip a week. You can Ohio State, Indiana, Michigan, all those teams can have a week. Oregon, they can have a week where they play down and it works out to their benefit and it doesn't roll over because you don't have another ranked team coming in the following week. Ohio State actually has a solid schedule this year. We're going to talk some college football if we get on the phone lines tonight. We're going to open it up for the whole college football scene. But I'm telling y'all right now, chat, this SEC dominance hasn't gone anywhere. If you think so, you're lost in the sauce. You're lost in the sauce. And I think more so now than ever, with the new rule being in place, even with the transfer portal rule being adjusted, you're going to see that dominance reestablished. And look at the coaching trees that's around college football right now. Right? You look at the coaching trees that's around college football right now. It's the SEC is full of new talent that's been brewing on some quality staffs over the past 7 or 8 years. Look back 7 or 8 years, a lot of these guys were position coaches or offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators. A lot of these guys were coordinators and now they're head coaches. A lot of the hype and a lot of the excitement that you saw in the play calling aspect on both sides of the ball, those were coordinators. Now they're head coaches and they're raising up minds to create that same thing or to have that same type of play calling mentality and develop this new era of college football. So we're in for a lot of excitement this season. I think more so than now. 2026 season, 2026 fall, 27. That's going to be probably some of the most exciting college football time we've seen. And for me, as a Bama fan, I think we return to dominance over the next 2 years as far as people not wanting to play us. I think the SEC does bring that persona. I think more so now, like in the early 2010s, right? I think you get a aspect of like, you've had those 3 years. I like to roll back to this one last time. I look at what happened between 2000 and 2020. You look at those first 3 years of some coaches being moved around in the SEC. The outside the SEC had their time. Oklahoma, Miami, Ohio State. LSU came in the picture. Boom, 2003. You didn't see a shift in how college football was playing yet until like 2006 with Tebow. 2005, you saw a shift with USC, right? How they were playing football. Vince Young, the mobile quarterback started becoming a thing in 05, 04. It really did. So you go back to then. This is post-Vic college era. Now everybody's seeing Vic at the NFL level, and the collegiate level was trying to keep that style of play out. But you couldn't escape it when you saw what it was doing for offenses, especially your run game, your wide receivers, right? What it was doing for your offensive line and making your offensive line look better with mobile quarterback. So once Alabama was able to establish the physicality standpoint and stop that type of offense, Florida, LSU, Tennessee during them early 2000s. Georgia has always been competitive, been in the picture. They just never was able to get over the Bama hump. Even lost to Auburn a few times. Auburn was in that mix. Florida. You look at these teams, Florida, LSU, Alabama, Auburn, all of these teams, Georgia, 2021, 22, right? The SEC is definitely there. I think we've had the Big Ten has finally caught us as far as most national championships representing the conference in the modern era. Talking about since 2000, how many have represented the ACC? Miami, Clemson, Florida State, that's 3. Then you have Alabama, LSU, Auburn, Florida, Georgia for the SEC. Texas goes to the Big 12, right? They didn't win their national championship with us. Ohio State has it in 2014 and 2024. Michigan has 2023. And Indiana. I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong years. Fast forward those years. 24, 25, and 26. Ohio State, Michigan, Ohio State, and then Indiana. So it kind of follows the same pattern. A few years leave the conference, then we come back and get it. So don't trip, y'all. SEC fans, I don't think we are losing dominance. But I do think that the gap is closed, and I do think we see better quality competitive football throughout the conference and throughout the country in the NCAA. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in tonight, this morning, y'all. Appreciate y'all for coming in. Like I said, we're not dragging shows this offseason. We want to come in and get the hot news, the hot topics, the hot conversation, your thoughts, and get on the phone line and get your thoughts. If you haven't already, think about becoming a member of the AAA family and supporting us, man, and becoming a member of our YouTube channel here at Coach Smook on YouTube. Make sure you go follow us on all of our other pages. We have our Coach Smook Reacts on all platforms at Coach Smook Reacts. And we have our new fitness content, our new fitness pages at Coach Smook CPT. Coach Smook CPT, that's a certified personal trainer. We actually got some sessions that we got booked for this weekend. This Sunday morning, somebody wants to go in for a Sunday morning session. I woke up to that. So that's a blessing in itself. But once again, I appreciate y'all for supporting the content here on the sports media side of things. And don't forget, y'all, started August, we bringing a new segment. We got our Alabama State, our SWAT coverage coming up. So August, be prepared for a new look. We doing some design things with the backdrops. We're doing some things with our stand-up area for content. What up, JRM? Good to see you over there on TikTok, man. Give it up for my YC, man. But we got some things we're going to be changing up. We've been keeping it fresh and simple for y'all so we can deliver quality content. But for the most part, y'all, we are going to take it up a notch. We're about to ramp this thing up. I appreciate y'all for y'all support as always. And remember, when you see me in the streets, holler at me and say, put me in the game, Coach Smook. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Y'all be blessed. Jordan, take us out of here, man.
Authenticity above all, that's where I stand. If you ain't a real fan, you'll fail with the fan. They tried to box me in, and I keep the dough off the frame. Turn the pressure into power, put my stamp on the game. Put me in the game, coach, in the game. Put me in the game, coach. Smook, that's what they saying. Put me in the game, coach. In the game. Put me in the game, coach. That's what they saying.
Players and the staff are pulling up right now for today's scrimmage. Coach David Ballou in the front. Y'all can see everybody pulling up, man. Them boys over there, look at Deontay.
Hey, I'm walking out of Walmart. Check what's your name, bro?
Man, my name Michael McKinney, man. I'm a true Alabama fan, and this man does a good job on his podcast.
What's up, bro?
Reviewing Alabama football. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
Appreciate that, bro. Roll Tide, man.